Hey guys, thanks so much. So, first I'll just do a real fast down what an NFT is. What's funny is, I could take this bottle of water, pour it into a glass, which I don't have right now. And then I could pour it back in this bottle, and it'd all be the same. Water is water, it's just what the container is. You don't look at, yes, it's possible I might put something nasty in a cup of water or something here, and then you go, oh, that's not the same. But provided, the water hasn't been tampered with or anything like that, it's all the same. That's the word we use, fungible. Think about exchanging a dollar bill for a dollar bill. It's the same thing, and that's the point of it, is that it's the same thing and it's not special. That's why we want money. You want to be able to spend something with it and not worry about it. You don't want it to be special, you just want it to be accepted. Now, an NFT is very different from that. That means non-fungible. That means it's special, one of a kind. Think of a Mickey Mantle baseball card. His rookie card, for that matter. Guess what? It's different from, say, Sammy Sosa's rookie card. They're not the same. If we traded those two cards, they don't have the same value. We would have to sit down and go, oh, how much money do I owe you? What conditions that Mickey Mantle in or versus Sammy Sosa? They're not the same. They're special. They're unique. Just like people, in a way. I'm special and unique, where when all the snow falls on the ground, none of the snow is special and unique anymore. It's just one big blob. So that is an NFT. So speaking of water, I want to talk about water in a way because I want to point out how weird people are. If you think about a Mickey Mantle baseball card, it's worth a lot of money. A little task for someone in this room to do. Go on eBay and look up Mickey Mantle's baseball card and just tell me how much money it goes for. I'd love to know, and I'm sure it'll take 5 minutes, and just let me know when you know. Now, Mickey Mantle's baseball card, I can't eat it, or maybe I could if I'm a toddler, but it's not something you want to eat. It can't keep me warm at night, doesn't give me a place to sleep. All I can do is look at it. $5.2 million for Mickey Mantle for a piece of paper with some ink on it, when in a factory back in the 1950s or 60s was probably printed for much less than a penny. A hundredth of a penny? When it was printed? Nothing. And it's just paper and ink. That's it. $5 million. This bottle of water, without water, I'd die. What's more important than water? No food, no crops. You have to drink it, no oxygen without water. Essential for life. How much did this cost me?
More than gas.
It was free. Free.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, for this free bottle of water. So, if you look at how cheap water is, something essential for life, then you look at Mickey Mantle. $5 million. Well, why is that? Now, we can say it was just supply and demand. Okay, sure, I get there was a limited amount of those Mickey Mantle cards. They've been destroyed over the years. Kids stuck them in their in their bicycle wheels to make the little sound while they drove their bicycle around and ruined them. Okay. But why does anyone want them? And don't say because they're worth money. Because that's what happened after the fact. Something made people want those cards, right? Well, it was the sentimental attachment people felt towards Mickey Mantle, and that this showed something about his baseball career, and he was their hero. And in some way, by having his card, they felt connected to their hero. And that's what gave it value. That's simple. Sentimentality commoditized onto a piece of paper. Now, This can be done on the blockchain on a computer. Truth is, what's the difference between a piece of paper and ink and zeros and ones on a computer? Nothing. All that matters is that it's able to transfer that sentimentality around. And if you can do that, then you have a collectible. And you can have Mickey Mantle on the blockchain, well, in theory. But you have to first have that sentimentality. And that's why I showed the bottle of water versus, NFTs and Mickey Mantle, and we get to how much human sentimentality is worth. A lot of money. So, one thing I want to point out, people focus on the collectible aspect of NFTs, and that's very important. I think, art, there's already a program for Topps cards on the blockchain. You have the crypto kitties that are worth a lot of money. We've heard about these memes that went, there was the meme that was made into an NFT of the girl, of Disaster Girl, the little girl who's looking backwards and there's a house on fire. We all know that. That sold for $45,000. Is it more, Jason? How much is it, sir?
It was over 400,000.
Oh, over 400,000. I'm sorry, I got a ridiculous, absurd amount of money that I've never made in a year. $450,000. Okay? I can't imagine purchasing that NFT, but for some reason, to somebody, it had that sentimental value, and it was one of a kind. And that's it. That's what made it so valuable. So that's one aspect of NFTs, is capturing that sentimentality. I don't think that's what's most important for NFTs. We're obsessed with that for some reason because, we all think of the Mickey Mantle card, and we all want to capture Mickey Mantle's baseball card again, lightning in a bottle. But I think there's much better things to do with that. So for instance, I was talking to my wife about this. We recently bought a piece of art, and there's 1 out of 100 of them, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. Now, it's a little piece of paper, and we could lose that very easily. And now, how would people know it's not a forgery? They don't. Well, think about all the things in the world that we want certificates of authenticity for, besides art. Rolex watches, Oakley sunglasses, all sorts of high-end fashion, maybe even antiques, you name it. High-end things that are real expensive. We want authenticity, show that it's the real thing. Well, with a blockchain, you can trace does it link up to the smart contract? Do you have it? And then when you, if I was to maybe have a marketplace for selling Rolex watches, I could have it so the certificate of authenticity goes into a smart contract that has a separate wallet for storing it. And then once I get paid and you've received it and are happy with it, it gives you I get the money and you get the certificate of authenticity, and we go on our way. And now, when you sell that Rolex watch to the next guy, that guy says, "Is that really a Rolex?" "Yes, it is. Here's my certificate of authenticity on the blockchain." Well, that just solved a lot of problems. So here's something else it just solved. Someone steals that Rolex from you. Guess what they don't have? A certificate of authenticity. So what is everyone saying to him, that guy, that thief? "That's not a real Rolex. Go away." "Yes, it is. It is, because I stole it from a rich guy." No one's going to care. So what's he going to do? Maybe wear it or sell it to someone else for $5. He gets nothing. And that's just one use case for NFTs. I think I want to focus on for a little bit, and I'll be done, maybe answer some questions. It's just the future of NFTs, because I actually think NFTs will eat up the whole blockchain and actually eat up the majority of the financial world, because most money is in things. not in money. Most money is not in money. Money is in things. Your house, your car, your clothes, even your bottle of water. That's where I think it's going to go. Well, why not have a deed to your house on the blockchain? Why not have a deed to your car on the blockchain? You know, all these public records, we rely on government agencies to take care of, or banks to take care of. And, well, that works pretty well in general. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a way to store this, not relying on a government? What if your government melts down? Do you still own that house? Well, you know, if it's all depending on that government institution and that institution went bankrupt, maybe not. Maybe people are going to say you don't really own that house after all. How are you going to prove it? Well, we could use something else that's independent of governments to prove ownership. And we could and that's called tokenization. You just take a bottle of water, you put a little QR code on it, it's represented on the blockchain, and now we're selling an NFT, and I can make an official NFT of a bottle of water that Jared Busby drank from, and isn't that something everybody wants to buy? And that's just one aspect of the future of NFTs. This is something I think will be billions of dollars. And the fact is, I'm amazed that people haven't gone crazy over this, because this is taking something unique and putting it in a blockchain and making it digital. I mean, that's what else? How else can you capture lightning in a bottle? I mean, but this is exactly what it is. We're capturing value and putting it on the internet. Any questions? If not, I'll just go.
We have a shy audience.
Tim.
I'm curious how you get that bottle of water online.
Well, I could always take a picture, huh? Oh yeah, he wants to know how I could put this bottle of water online. Well, one thing I could do is take a picture of this bottle of water with my face next to it and mint that NFT, you know, using Nifty or some other program. And now I'm selling a picture of me drinking it. Or I could find a way to put a QR code and something of that nature on there too. And say, oh, this bottle of water came from this case, and you know, there's all these different bottles of water, and there's a series of them. There's different ways to do this. Just wait for a second. I feel like there's the guy in the checkered shirt might have a question for me. He's thinking deeply.
I'm definitely thinking. I'm just trying to get my mind around all this. So like the QR code can give it a unique, one of a kind identification that can be authenticated on the blockchain.
Yes. Yeah, and you can do that with just about anything. Yes, Jason?
What areas or industries are using blockchain right now readily, and what are some of the areas that you see potential for blockchain to be an important part of?
Well, first thing I'll say is everyone's talking about, oh, Bitcoin's old, it's 11 years old. We're very early. If you're in here, you're way ahead of the curve. So that's the first thing I want to say. Like, you know, someone who's the first time hearing all this is way ahead of 99.9% of the population right now. So there are some industries that have already used it. There's digital artists, for instance. There are some blockchain games, and we are partnered with some of them. Particularly as trading card games is very popular for the blockchain right now, and I've seen some that are fairly successful. Right now, as far as NFTs go, that's what I've seen be the most successful right now. I'm not saying there's not other projects, but I've not really seen anyone grab it yet. Just get it. I'm not saying that they're not there. We have our scratch-off system, for instance. I think that's pretty cool too, but I haven't seen people really take full advantage of it, and that's what blows my mind. So, as far as what could be done, like I say, I mean, I mentioned authenticity. I think that'd be huge, especially for NFTs. Other things that blockchains could do that I've not seen too much of yet. She mentioned in her, I forgot, what was your name, ma'am? Laura mentioned in her speech, tracking goods, like food, things of that nature. There are a lot of blockchain projects trying to do that. Or even for other logistics purposes. I think the logistics industry could really use blockchain. I worked in the logistics industry for a long time, and paperwork would get lost, and you kind of fudge things when the paperwork gets lost, and it's not a good thing when that happens. But as far as NFTs, there's, especially with the authenticity side of things, or the legal, I would even really argue the legal side of things, there's not much being done yet. Partially, I think people are afraid of regulators and the lawyers and don't know how to approach it. And so maybe that's some of it. I think the first legal NFT stuff won't be in the USA. They will be in a country that is willing to innovate. And doesn't have big bureaucracy. I think it'll be in Malta. I think it'll be in Singapore or Switzerland first. So, but there's a lot there. Yes, Emerson?
Are there different types of NFTs? There's this controversy with regards to the pictures with the top 10 pictures, the one that sold for 69 million. The question is, are there different types of NFTs wherein you only get the certificate and where that item is stored on the net?
So,
Or is there a certain time when you get the certificate in the item itself?
so I've seen a few things where I've seen how this could work out. And like I say, all this is very new. If you're hearing about this, I mean, this is very new. We're early. One thing I saw was there's a card game called Ether Legends. And what was really neat was they would give you a physical trading card, and it came with the QR code, a one-time scan. And what you'd have to do is scratch it off, and it reveal the QR code, and then you scan it, and now it's on your engine wallet, for instance, where they store, they were an Ether engine blockchain. So that was one thing I saw. What I think would happen is, and this is one area where this is interesting, is yes, there would only be one minted when you scan the QR code, and when you sell the Rolex watch, it would be real important that you also give the person the NFT as well, and that would be part of it. That's the certificate, but it's just like with the art, the painting my wife bought also has a certificate of authenticity. We put it in the back of the frame, so that's a pretty good way to do it. At least it's with it. But it could just as easily been a little QR code on the back of the art, and then you scan it. Now it's on the blockchain, and when I sell it to you, you make sure I send you the NFT. Yes, Adele.
There is here always the question about how do you non-destructive identification with QR code, you're messing up with the bottle or with a piece of art, and someone can take it. And in art that has happened in the past,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a certificate and you can use it to sell your own art, it happened in the past. So how do we integrate a non-refutable thing within the item? And that's been always the challenge.
What's beautiful about blockchain is that's very easy to do. So when let's say I'm an artist, I'm just going to use the art example where my wife, bought that painting. There were 100 of these prints made. I'm the artist. I make 100 prints. I would make a smart contract that mints out 100 of them, and so I would have it on my website, maybe on the back of my painting, the smart contracts public address, and then it's also going to have, and then on the public address you go to smart contract and you can verify the NFT with the smart contract, and if it's not showing up, then it's a fake, it's a fraud. So the it's all on the. That's the thing about the beauty of blockchain. It's all open. It's all public. So you can match it. Is the best way to put it, and it's matched by the code. You don't trust people. You trust code. Well, anything else? Humans are weird, and water's good for you. Have a good one.